lovely countryside, isn't it? The Sioux, the Ogallala, and the Pawnee who roamed this Great Plains state years ago called Nebraska Flatwater. Most of us know it as the Cornhusker State. I simply call it home. Went back to my boyhood. We were very poor, see, when I was in Nebraska. And until I was 5 years old, the only toy I had was a tumbleweed. Look, I didn't say it was funny. I said it was nostalgic. But...
Yeah. And we played the Johnny Carson Theater.
Did you play there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I helped them out there, and they
did you?
made a little theater in my name.
I appreciate it, baby. Thank you for the good.
Anytime, Tom. You want a theater? You can go too. I'll pick you up.
No, but a lot of people think because you come from the Midwest, you move to Hollywood and become successful. You forget your family roots. I don't. I remember my youth on the plains of Nebraska was kind of a Norman Rockwell scene. Yeah. I remember my mother sitting by the spinning wheel. She ran a roulette game in a saloon. You know, in a world that changes so rapidly, I guess what one looks for in returning home is a link with something permanent, sense of belonging, the time, the people, and the events that were important in my early years. Thomas Wolfe once wrote, "You can't go home again." Well, that's probably true if you expect to find things as they were. But in a sense, we're like a turtle. We carry our home with us wherever we go.
Greetings to Governor Ricketts and the Nebraska Arts Council and all of you in attendance this evening. As president and a director of the Johnny Carson Foundation, it is my pleasure to speak to you this evening on behalf of the foundation. I and the other representatives of the foundation are extremely pleased and honored to receive the prestigious Leonard Thiessen Award for the contribution that both Johnny Carson and his foundation have made to expand the arts and culture in Nebraska. As has been shown in the video you just viewed, Johnny Carson was very proud to identify Nebraska as his home state where he grew up and where he matriculated at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln. Johnny Carson became famous as a uniquely talented comedian and host of The Tonight Show, where he entertained us nightly for 30 years. He truly was, and he remains, the king of late night. Johnny started his philanthropy in Nebraska many years ago. Many of these contributions have been to help others in Nebraska enjoy the arts and culture that he so treasured during his lifetime. With his passing in 2005, Johnny entrusted to us at the foundation the responsibility and the honor of continuing his giving to others consistent with his own giving. He had a special fondness for the town where he grew up, North Fork, Nebraska, and for the University of Nebraska, where he developed many of his unique talents to entertain others. We frequently ask the question, in selecting the recipients of the funding, what would Johnny do? And in many cases, it focuses us on the many art and cultural programs in Nebraska. Johnny supported the establishment of the Nebraska Cultural Endowment in 1998, and the foundation has since provided additional funds to this worthy endowment. Just prior to Johnny's passing away, he funded the Johnny Carson School of Theater and Film, in part to remodel the Temple building where he had taken classes as a student, to create the Johnny Carson Theater in the Leeds Center for the Performing Arts, and to establish the endowment for the school's ongoing operations. Following his passing, the foundation established an endowment specifically for providing scholarships for students from Nebraska to attend the Johnny Carson School. We have added to that endowment over the past several years. We have met on several occasions these Carson scholars, and they are bright, they are creative, and they are enthusiastic. As you are aware, this past year the foundation approved a $20 million pledge for the expansion of the Johnny Carson School with the addition of the Johnny Carson Center for Emerging Media Arts. It is an example of what we believe Johnny would have done. We are confident that this funding, which recognizes the congruency of the arts and media technology, will provide the students of today and tomorrow with new job opportunities both in Nebraska and elsewhere. It seems to us it will be a perfect fit with the recent increase in the technology companies coming to Lincoln and Omaha and other cities in the so-called Silicon Prairie. We at the Johnny Carson Foundation want to especially thank Governor Ricketts and the board of the Nebraska Arts Council for recognizing what Johnny Carson personally did and through the Johnny Carson Foundation has continued to do to enhance the arts and culture in the state of Nebraska. In closing, I want to add our congratulations to the other recipients of awards this evening. Thank you.